Amen. Amen. I don't know how I'm supposed to come behind that. Thank you, Jackie Bell. And then the other speaker, she sang. So here I am, guys. Amen. But I am going to talk about the key to the freedom of pride. And I have to be honest, when I was given that topic, I was confused. I'm not a prideful person, but I'll tell you, I was the first. And when I say in my family, my grandmother had 5 children. So from her grandchildren and from my mother's children, I was the first to graduate from high school. And I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, so going to high school, we walked. So I walked from Saywell to 112th and St. Clair to high school. 9th grade to 12th grade. Again, I'm from Cleveland, so if it was snowing, I put that Vaseline on my face, put my snow boots on, and I trotted my little happy self right on to high school. 9th grade to 12th grade. So again, I said, pride? I've always heard that you need to take pride in your accomplishments. You know, take pride in how you look. Fix your clothes. Fix your hair. Fix this. Take pride in how you look. So I was confused. I said, well, how is pride a bad thing? So just in thinking and in talking, you know, with my family and having my notes sent back, praise God, and saying, hey, this is what we're looking for, I had to read and I had to really understand how pride can have you in bondage, how pride can get into your soul and block your entire purpose. So I had to figure out who was going to help me understand this. And I was given a few people, but I looked at Queen Esther. And we've heard of her, we heard of her story, and she is honestly our visual picture from rags to riches. And if you don't remember, you know, she was an orphan, and then her older cousin took her in and raised her as his own. But she became queen, and I said, I'm still not understanding, because she should have had a lot of pride going on, because, I mean, this is great. Used to be an orphan, and then I just saw reading, I was still getting confused because I said she should be an example of pride. But then I realized that she was a humble woman. And because she wasn't prideful, she was able to use her position and walk in her purpose. I said, I got it. I got it. Your pride can block you from your blessing. See, God puts us in these positions for his will, for his purpose in our lives. And if we get like I thought I was, I'm not going to claim that, like I thought it was just prideful, I was the first to graduate from high school. So yes, I have pride, and I was the first to graduate from college. I have pride. I got married before I had children. I'm prideful. I'm doing this. Matter of fact, I go back. I got another degree. Very prideful. Got another one. And certified. Very prideful. God said, girl, sit down somewhere. Because with those 3 degrees and that certification, I still did not have the job that I desired. And I wasn't getting it because my little cute, prideful self was blocking my blessing. So let's talk about Esther. And I used her, I read her and read this book, and God, I was prideful. And I can look at my previous job and my true desire and say, wow, girl, you blocked yourself from years of blessings. So let's look at her. Like I said, she gives us that visual, that true visual of from rags to riches. And in the chapter, it talked a lot about her beauty, how everyone saw her beautiful. So she was beautiful, she had nice clothes, she had food, she had servants. All right, we're women in here. Nice clothes, good food, and other servants. So you had help, so you didn't have to go to work. You ain't have to wash the clothes. You ain't have to cook. You what? So she just had time to be Esther. I don't understand why she wasn't prideful. You ain't have to do. And she cute, so you can just walk around and just be cute and be acknowledged and be respected. I was confused. But she came to a point, mainly in this chapter 4, this is when her cousin who she looked up to, the one who introduced God to her, who made her, helped her believe in our Father, he was going through the business. He just stripped his clothes off, walking around with sackcloth, had the ashes, and they got back to her. You know what he out there doing? So she said, look, here, take him some clothes. Because she's a queen, she's over here, you know, and he stayed over there. She wasn't prideful, though. She said, here, take him some clothes, and he's like, no, I don't need that. Long story short, what happens is, he said, go tell her about this plan. I'm saying, okay, well, he's telling you about it, but that's their business over there. See, we over here on the island. That's the business over there in Savannah. We really don't have nothing to do with that, right? Yeah, it had a lot to do with it. Because although she made it to where she was still a Jew. And this was going to affect the Jews. Now I said, she could have said, they don't know I'm a Jew. I'm going to stay right here, be cute and quiet. But she remembered, and she knows who she is, and he told her, which was really, really like a smack in the face, you know, he told her in essence that you know who you are, and you think you got there because you're cute? Are you serious? No, you are in that position to do God's will. I said, okay. But then he punched me in the gut when he said, and if you don't do it, he'll find somebody else to do it. I said, oh, okay. And what she did is humble herself. She said, okay. You know what, you're right. Just quick sidebar. Ladies, we need to have a God-fearing, strong believer in our life to tell us, get it together and live in your purpose, or he'll find somebody else to do it. Now, if you have them in your life and they're telling you that, we got to be humble enough to listen. Our pride can keep us from listening to what God has for us. If we don't listen to that, we can miss our purpose. So anyway, he told her and she listened and she said, okay. Now, let me just say this to you real quick. I know I'm the queen. I know who I am. But you know, men and women alike, nobody can go before the king unless he calls for you. Now, if he extends that little gold scepter, then we're okay. But I ain't seen that man in 30 days. I'm not about to just go in there and ask that. Again, so that's when he says, look, you're in a position for a purpose. Use your position for that purpose. So that's when she said, okay. So, Lord, less of me and more of you. Less of me and more of you. And that's what's been sitting in my spirit. Less of me and more of you. Because she said, okay, I'm going to do it. Get them and go. Y'all go fast now. And I'm going to get my servants and we're all going to fast. Because she understood it's not about the cuteness. See, I had that favor of my cuteness, and I was put in this position. I was given the clothes. I was given the food. I was given servants, help, like she needed help. But I was given all those things. But I know I can't do this. I know the rule. I know who I am, but I know the rule. So less of me and more of you. Y'all, let's go ahead. We need to fast, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk in my purpose. So sometimes we have to know. Actually, no, sometimes, no, I'm going to correct this. We have to know that it is always less of us and more of him, or we can't fulfill our purpose. So she, to just go on with the story, they did the fast. She went before the king, and he granted her wish, which was, of course, for his ruling, because of this crazy amen. He just set it aside. Long story short, it works out. But in essence, Mordecai tells her that God is God all by himself. And if you don't allow God to use the position that he put you in, no, she didn't apply for the job. She didn't send a resume, complete an application. She didn't get she was an orphan. And when she was going to be, now all the other people who could have been queen, it could have been languages, beauty, height. I mean, they don't tell her how those women look, because we all in here beautiful as we can be, but she was even given favor so she can go before the king and look good. So all of this, she was put in a position for God's purpose. And we have to remember, if we set in pride, we'll miss it. So now I finally understand, and just to be totally honest with y'all, it didn't sit until last night where I said, yes, pride is not good. I can be proud of who I am. I can be proud of where I come from. I can be proud of whose I am. But I have to use my position for his purpose, setting aside my pride, because it needs to be less of me and it needs to be more of him. I realized that the things that Esther had to set aside, the food, the clothes, y'all see I keep saying food, I really like food, but the food, the clothes, the servants, she had to be willing and humble enough to risk all of that. So she set herself aside to help the Jews. Sometimes we're put in a position and it's not even about us and we don't realize it. So we have to, again, use our position for God's purpose. And that's pretty much how I kind of want to end it, just in knowing that for us all to know and understand that pride is one thing and being proud is a different thing. You can be proud of your accomplishments, but don't let pride override you being proud. Because when you're proud, you remember. And when you use those memories, you remember where you came from. And when you remember where you came from, you remember who brought you to where you are. Yeah. And then you allow the positions that you're in, whether you're a mother, whether you're a sister, whether you're a student, whether you're a teacher, whatever you are, wherever you are, God has a purpose for your life. And he puts you in that position for his purpose. Amen?
Miss Rose.